Okay, so I decided to record a video just giving my thoughts on the games tonight and who I think is going to win, who I think has the best chance of winning too. So I will just go over the teams. For the first game, Montreal at Vancouver. Montreal top 3 scorers: Nick Suzuki, 13 goals, 27 assists for 40 points in 56 games. He's had a great season. Obviously, went to the All-Star game, had a great All-Star game. Couldn't take home the All-Star game championship, but that's fine. Arturi Lehkonen second. It's pretty surprising to see him second. You don't really think of Lehkonen as a guy who's going to be top 3 in scoring on your team, but guess he is here. He has 11 goals, 14 assists for 25 points in 53 games. Not a bad season for him, especially on the Canadiens team that's been absolute dog shit all season. Josh Anderson coming in at number 3. He has 15 goals and 9 assists for 24 points in 45 games. He's been okay, obviously playing on the top line with Suzuki and Caulfield. I would expect more from him, obviously, but this whole team has been disappointing, so I can't really blame that on him. And to look at their team stats, going over injuries real quick: Jake Allen, Louis Belpedio, Paul Byron, Jonathan Duran, Christian Dvorak, Joel Edmondson, Jake Evans, Andrew Hammond, Raphael Harvey Pinard, Carey Price, David Savard, and Shea Weber. So this team is just plagued with injuries. I feel really bad for them. I mean, they should have been pretty good, but they're just got the injury bug. And looking at their team statistics, 15 wins, 34 losses, and 7 overtime losses for 37 total points on the season in 56 games. 135 goals for to 212 goals against. Just an abysmal season for them. Their goaltending also really bad. 889 save percentage, below league average, as well as 3 shutouts, which actually matched league average. So, not too bad there. Team analytics, of course, you can't forget about the core C4 percentage, 47.6%. Just not great at all. You expect it to be over half at least. Their save percentage, pretty good. This is 5 on 5, by the way. Their expected goals for 110.7, below league average by 11, and expected goals against 130.5, which is over league average. Yeah, just a disappointing season. Alright, and moving on to Vancouver. They are 28, 23, and 6, and they are 6th in their division. They still have a chance to push for a playoff spot, but it's getting more unlikely by the day. They really have to go on a run. Top 3 scorers: JT Miller. He's had a great season. I mean, there's not really anything I can say that you guys don't know about JT Miller. He has 22 goals and 41 assists for 63 points in 55 games. If Vancouver goes on a little bit of a slump here heading into the trade deadline, I think JT Miller could definitely be moved. And I saw a mock trade that can actually have him go to Colorado for Bowen Byram, and I think that's a great trade for Vancouver. Getting a young defenseman like Bowen Byram, he's been great. Well, he's been plagued by concussion issues, but besides that, he's been pretty good. Quinn Hughes, number 2 in scoring, 4 goals and 40 assists for 44 points. He's had a up and down year. Obviously, you expect him to score more goals than 4, but the assists are up there. He looks pretty good offensively, but obviously he's just nowhere to be found defensively. 3rd in scoring, Elias Pettersson. And wow, he has had a disappointing season. He was expected to be at least around a point per game or over, but so far he has 17 goals and 22 assists for 39 points in 57 games. Definitely expect more from him, especially if Vancouver wants to make the playoffs. Their goaltending is very good though, with Thatcher Demko posting a 25-16-0 record, 263 goals against, and a 917 save percentage, as well as a shutout. But the backup goaltending, very, very shaky. Yaroslav Halak, 2-6-2 through 10 games, and a 342 goals against average, as well as an 883 save percentage. Like, their goaltending it's good when you look at their starter and then you see their backup and you're just wondering, like, are they going to trade for a backup goalie, or are they going to keep Halak going into the postseason? That's only if they even get into a playoff spot. They might not even see the postseason. But looking over here towards the second game. Oh wait. Alright, so for the first game, I think I'm gonna go with Montreal. They've been on a great run here, and I don't think they can be slowed. Like, they've just been absolutely great. So I think Montreal takes that game 5-2. Going to the next game, we got the Washington Capitals against the Edmonton Oilers. Taking a look at Washington, they've had a great season, obviously in a very, very stacked Metro Division. They are gonna have to go on a little bit of a run here to get anywhere, but they've looked good so far. 31-18-9 for 71 points. That's 4th in the Metro Division. Carl Hagelin and Joe Snively are the only injuries. And looking at their top 3 scorers, Alex Ovechkin, everyone knows how good he is. 36 goals and 34 assists for 70 points. Very good season from him. And he is actually projected by some to be the MVP, the Hart Trophy winner. So we'll see what happens with that. Evgeny Kuznetsov, number 2, with 16 goals and 37 assists for 53 points. He is very good. Like, I did not expect him to do this good at the start of the season, but he has taken that number 1 center spot in Washington. He's ran with it. 3rd place, John Carlson, 10 goals, 35 assists for 45 points. He's very good as well. Number 1 defenseman there, plays on the number 1 power play unit. If he goes down with an injury, that just messes up their whole season. And looking at the goaltending, 13-7-0 record for Vanecek. 13-7-5, I should say. I don't know why they show the ties on the website, but 919 save percentage and a 232 goals against with 3 shutouts. He's been great. His stats look very good individually. The record, not so much, but it can improve. Backup, Ilya Samsonov, 17 wins, 9 losses, and 3 overtime losses. Great record, but you look at his individual stats, 293 goals against average and a 901 save percentage with 3 shutouts. He's played more than Vanecek, but just not as good as Vanecek has been doing. And leading in goals, Ovechkin with 36, leading in assists, Kuznetsov with 37. Points Ovechkin with 70. And plus minus is surprisingly Nick Jensen with a plus 27. Time on ice though, 23:46 for John Carlson. Face off, Nick Dowd with 55.5%. And wins by a goaltender, 17 wins for Samsonov. Save percentage is Zach Fucale with a 924, but we know he was just there for a short stint. And we look at Edmonton now. And wow, what can you say about the Edmonton Oilers? They've had a very disappointing second half of the season. Their first half was very good. Connor McDavid was producing so good. I mean, his production was bound to be historical until he fell off in that second half of the season. He was going to have an historically great season, but obviously not now. Looking at their team analytics, save percentage is below average. Their Corsi 4 percentage is above average, but expected goals for also above average. But looking at their expected goals against, you definitely don't want that above average, and that's what they have to deal with. Look at their leading scorers on the season. Draisaitl leads 38 goals, 41 assists for 79 points in 57 games. Second place, McDavid, 29 goals, 50 assists for 79 points as well. And looking at their numbers, wow, McDavid and Draisaitl, definitely a great duo. Maybe the best duo I've ever seen in National Hockey League history. And third place, looking at this big fall in point total, it's Zach Hyman with 37 points. That's less than half of points of Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl, their respective totals. I mean, 19 goals, 18 assists. He's a good complementary piece, but he's not going to single-handedly win you games. Like, he's not. You definitely need more depth than this. Like, they really don't have much depth. And looking at their goaltenders, the worst goalie tandem in the league, Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. Wow. 30 games played for Koskinen and 19-9 and 3 save percentage. That record just jumps right off the wall at you. It is great. But then you look at his individual stats. He's rocking a 305 goals against average and a 904 save percentage with one shutout. Very mediocre stats for him, but great record. But that's just propped up by how good the team has been playing under him. In front of him, I should say. Mike Smith, 5-8-1. He's kind of been pushed out by Stuart Skinner. He's not really getting much games, and I think he could be traded soon. Either him or Mikko Koskinen. 357 goals against average. Very, very bad. Way below league average. 891 save percentage. Also way below league average. And, wow. Just very disappointing. But that's enough of getting into the stats. For my pick of who's going to win this game, I think it'll be pretty close, but I think the Washington Capitals will win 4-2. And I think the first star likely be Ovechkin, maybe Carlson. But yeah, you just can't really take Edmonton here. Edmonton having a very disappointing season, and the fact that they have to go against a Washington Capitals team that's very good. They hold that wild card spot, and they are still looking to move into the top 3 in their division. So yeah, those are my picks for the games tonight, and we'll see how they go, but I'm pretty confident in my picks, but anything can happen in NHL. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.